I am the greatest.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
You won't do shit. Just stick and move. And just waking you up and saying, now stick and move. Keep your hands up.
Welcome to a new episode of the Stick and Move podcast. I'm your host, Trey, here with my homeboy, Sam. And today we are talking about the top 3 conspiracy theories in boxing history. I'm so excited for this episode. I want to go first. I want to take the first jab. Sam, are you cool with that?
I'm good with that. Let's go.
Okay. I had fun. You know me, I'm a conspiracy guy. I love that stuff. Some conspiracies could get ridiculous, but I'm excited. And my number 3, bro, I'm going the gloves of being changed. Or I'm sorry, the gloves of Eric Morales versus Manny Pacquiao. The controversial, I guess you could say, fix, right? Look, Eric Morales making Pacquiao wear the Japanese winning brand sporting gloves. You know, there was a lot of heat. I remember watching that fight recently, and throughout the middle of the fight, all of a sudden, Larry Merchant starting to talk about, well, Manny Pacquiao is wearing the more of a defensible glove that he's mostly used to. Manny Pacquiao, of course, we know, always wearing the Cleto Reyes gloves. And Pacquiao wanted to wear his gloves, but because Morales was a champ at the time, there's a lot of conspiracy theories that he forced it upon himself to force Pacquiao to wear the gloves. I've been trying to do a lot of research. I don't know if that's true or not. There hasn't been any claims about that. But look, it was a big deal. You know, what I want to point out was, is that a valid excuse? Is that, you know, the reason why Pacquiao lost that fight? Because, you know, Freddie Roach was supposedly making a big deal about it. Pacquiao had never even worn those gloves. The only gloves he's ever worn his entire career up to that point was Cleto Reyes. I mean, he even saying that they're like pillows on your gloves. You know what I'm saying? But Eric Morales comes back at him and says, bro, like, I'm paraphrasing, by the way. He goes, bro, if you're a good boxer, you can knock out anybody with any gloves. And I'll do you the favor. Our rematch, I'll wear whatever gloves you want to wear. We'll both wear our own gloves. How about that? And I'll beat you again. Of course, we know what happened later on. You know, Pacquiao destroying Morales the last 2 fights. What do you think about that conspiracy, in your opinion?
Look, I don't know if y'all watched this YouTube channel, Un Round Mas.
Right.
Eric Morales talks about the glove.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about that issue. What he stated, what he was telling Barrera, was that glove was better in his hand. That his hand was injured, that it hurt, it was painful, and this is the glove that he felt comfortable with, you know. And he said, "Look, I chose the glove. Manny Pacquiao didn't have to take it. He didn't have to,
right?
But he, everybody knowing Pacquiao fight anybody in any situation, anytime, any circumstances,
absolutely.
And but that's what Eric Morales said." That glove was used because of a pain he was suffering in his hand.
And it goes back to the era. You know, this is 2000. 2001, if I'm not mistaken. And this goes to the era, even when they're hurt, they're fighting. And there are gloves specifically designed to be softer on the hand. Even when Holyfield fought Lewis, if I'm not mistaken, they both wear different gloves. Lewis wearing more of the puncher's glove, while Holyfield was wearing the more squarish, Grant gloves that are more used for, they're softer and they're better for defense because they're a little bit wider. And this just goes to show you that, look, could it have been a different fight if Pacquiao was wearing his traditional gloves? If you watch that 11-12 fight, because look, Morales won by decision, unanimous decision, right? But that 11th and 12th round, when Pacquiao finally turned that corner, maybe if he was wearing the Cleto glove, because it is a little bit more insulated and
He
harder,
would have ended
that
it. Yeah.
he probably would have ended that fight, especially when the craziness was happening, when Morales was getting overwhelmed in the beginning of that 12th round already, and then he switches to southpaw. You're telling me you don't think that Pacquiao, being in the Cleto Reyes glove, could have ended it there, come up with a great 12th round knockout after losing almost every other round in that fight? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that the gloves were that important?
They
Or,
were.
or
They
hold
were.
on, hold on. Or are you more on the line of Morales saying, if you're great, you'll beat me in any glove?
No, I think that was all BS. I think it was simple and it's facts, and everybody knows it. The
Mm-hmm.
reason he chose to wear those bigger gloves because he knew that Manny had the power to knock him out, and it
Right.
was gonna hurt. And that
Mm-hmm.
was the only reason he made him wear those gloves.
Interesting. Interesting. All right. All right. Beautiful. I love it, bro. I love it. So talk to me. What is your number 3, brother?
Okay, my number 3 is this. Okay.
Hey guys, Trey here. If you love today's controversial episode and you want to see our channel grow, please drop a like, subscribe, and also comment. Sam and I are always going back and forth with those commenters on our controversial topics and opinions, and we love it so much. So go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe, most importantly, so our channel can grow and we can give you guys the best content as possible. Sam and I were always uploading multiple videos a week, and we want to continue doing that, and we need your help. So go ahead and subscribe, guys. And most importantly, like I always say, don't forget to stick and move, baby.
Okay, ever since I started watching boxing when I was a kid, I've been seeing Don King, bro.
Ooh.
I've been seeing Don King and how he was shaping up fighters. You know, my number 3 is Mike Tyson versus Michael Spinks.
I
Okay,
have them here on my notes. I did not have them on my
yeah,
top 3. I
yeah.
had it here on my notes.
Me,
Go for it.
bro, I will never forget this fight, bro. We got Michael Spinks, the champion of the world, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Completely not show up to the fight, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He, for me, at least me, this y'all can send me a comment if y'all want. In my opinion, the dude was paid. The dude threw the fight.
Right.
Tyson was a phenomenon, bro. They were gonna build him to be a god, to be a multi-million-dollar cash machine,
Mm-hmm.
and people loved knockouts.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And that's how Mike Tyson's career was built. And when I saw the fight, you're talking about a heavyweight champion, Michael Spinks, bro. Just lay down, bro. A lamb to a lion, bro. Just threw himself on the ground. Yes, Mike Tyson threw that over him. But, bro, Michael Spinks didn't put up a fight at all, man.
Right. Right.
And I believe that Don King, Vegas, money had everything to do with it, man.
Right.
To finish that fight, Mike goes on with Robin Givens and
Brad Pitt.
and Brad Pitt, and for me, it was just a botched fight, in my opinion.
I'll say this, because I was doing research on that, and I agree with you. I think that was a botched fight, but it kind of reminds me of what Ali fight or Cassius Clay against Sonny Liston, bro. The Phantom Punch, which might be on your list. So I'm not. Phantom Punch is on my number 2. I'm letting you know. Or yeah. So it kind of goes into that realm, but I I won't say too much about the Phantom Punch because I don't want to give it away if it's one of yours, but or mine. That punch he did connect, and I believe that Sonny Liston in that second fight knew that he was overwhelmed. The speed, the accuracy that Ali had early on in that fight, I think Sonny Liston wanted no part of it. And when he did connect, or did not, depends on how you look at the Phantom Punch. I think that Mike Tyson, I'm sorry, Sonny Liston was just like, I don't want to fight. I'm just going to stay down. I kind of think that is what Mike Spinks went through as well. Dude, if you watch the beginning 10 seconds of that fight, Tyson comes out like a bull, man. Comes
Mm.
out with nothing but flurries of of uppercuts and hooks and just overwhelming. And I think Spinks is like, this is too much for me. And I think he got hit clean. I actually think he did get hit clean enough to where he's like, I'm just gonna stay down. You can even see his eyes roll in the back of his head. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I could see why it's a conspiracy. I do think so too. I think Spinks could have put up a better fight, but I also kind of feel that maybe he was overwhelmed. Go ahead.
Yeah, dude, it was, forget the punch that laid Michael Spinks down.
Right.
The dude did not do anything, bro.
Right. He didn't
No
do anything.
defense, didn't move. He literally just waited to say, "What time do I fall? I'm
Right.
ready to fall. I'll fall now." Dude, how long did it last? 21 seconds?
Something like
I
that.
don't
Yeah.
remember. It was something like that. And I just feel that Don King money was involved. And that's what built a lot of fighters,
Hmm.
especially Mike Tyson, bro.
Yeah. I
Because we
think.
all know that when Mike Tyson got into the big leagues, he couldn't
Right.
do it.
Right. Right.
I think he was just tailor in. But go ahead.
All right. Very good. All
So,
right. I'm going to give you my number two, man.
mhm,
And I'm looking at my notes. Usually I have my notes numbered 1, 2, and 3. Like I'm going to go this route.
mhm.
When I was coming up with these conspiracy theories, I did not have them numbered because I kind of going on the spot who I am feeling should be number 2, number 1, number 3. And I'm okay. I'm going to go Panama Lewis and the Magic Bottle, brother. Now, look, people say that in the Magic Bottle, especially in the most infamous fight with Aaron Pryor and Alexis Arguello,
Mm,
in between that 13th and 14th round, where the 14th round, uh, the Hawk finally gets a surge when he was starting to get overwhelmed in the 12th and 13th round and totally dismantles Arguello and they force a TKO on him. Some say that it was cocaine in there. Some say that there was speed in there. Some say that it was some kind of asthmatic mix in there, which we'll get to that in a
mhm.
second. But look, going into that, he even says to the trainer while
Yeah,
Hawk is on the bench dying
yeah.
for his last breath. He says, and I quote, he points out, no, not that bottle, the one with the mix.
Take a deep breath. Take your water.
Give me another piece. Give me another bottle. The one I mix.
Yeah.
Okay?
Come on.
Right?
Mhm.
And like I said, all of a sudden he sprays him with that water bottle, and the Hawk comes in and finishes the business. It was later on said, and there was, that's not the first time that he's had controversy. There was the whole thinning of the gloves when he was training Resto. I don't know if you remember him. Resto against I think it was Conley, if I'm not mistaken. Uh,
No, it's Billy Collins.
Collins, right, Collins, right.
Yeah.
Where after
Hmm.
the fight, when they're congratulating each other, they noticed how
They
thin
felt
that
it.
his gloves were. That it was pretty much knuckle fighting.
Yeah.
So he's had that corruption before. I think he was even suspended by the New York City Commission for a while after that fight. But look, it was later on reported. Resto even said that he's seen him making the mix, that it was pills that was used for people with asthma and stuff like that to give them that lung capacity to
Yeah.
go another round. So he didn't use it per every single round. He used it when he knew that his boxers were getting timed out. But there's also other people saying the conspiracy is that no, that he even clarified that he was using sparkling water with tap water, Perrier water, if I'm not mistaken, and because of the sparkling, and it gives them like a jolt, because all you can have in those cups or in those squeeze bottles is only water. What do you think about that conspiracy theory? Talk to me.
Look, I believe it, man. I
Hmm.
believe that he found a way to get us an enhancement
Hmm.
drug, um, to get a second wind, because his, maybe to get numb, to not feel
Hmm.
pain,
Right.
speed, to get that energy, bro. and it was like me with a cup of coffee in the morning. I'm just like that. I'm somebody else.
Right.
And so I do believe it. That fight against Alexis Arguello will always leave, a blemish, at least in my eyes. That's a questionable fight, bro. That wasn't a fair fight for me, and just the way he was caught on camera saying, "Give me the one I mixed."
Yeah.
That was enough, bro. I mean, what can you say? What did you mix? Yeah, I think he cheated, bro. I think he did. I think he cheated.
It's
And
an
he should have been
interesting
investigated
conversation.
more.
Yeah, I remember my dad and my uncle. My dad and my uncle are huge sports fanatics, and boxing, of course. Said it many times on this podcast. They've talked about that. There was something in that drink. There was something in that drink. Something happened, because that's one of the. By the way, people have asked us, you and I, to review that fight, and which we will in the near future for sure. Because
we got to do that one.
yeah, and we've talked about it recently too, behind the camera. Because people are like, what happened to Arguello? Like, why did he lose suddenly? And most people point out to the mix. So we'll leave that one at that. Tell us what you guys think. Was Panama Lewis, was the spiked water bottle enough to pull off the victory in that 14th round? All right. So what is your number 2? I'm so used to going next. So what is your number 2, bro?
My number 2 is Jake LaMotta and Billy Jack Fox. And it was the fight was in 1947, bro. Yeah. And they said it was one of the first fixes, mob related type of fights, and later confessed to taking $20,000 of cash and a guaranteed fight with, I think it's a Marcel Cerdan, Frenchman fighter. And they said that Jake LaMotta literally carried Billy Fox, carried him, and let him hit him. And it was obvious that even the light punches that Jake LaMotta would throw to Fox were hurting Fox to the point where Jake LaMotta had to pull back. And the mob was related, and it was all confessed, bro. Later, there was a huge confession that it was true. He took the money that,
1947.
They came to my brother with a proposition that if I lost the fight, I would be guaranteed a shot for the title. And I agreed.
Fox scored a 4th-round TKO, and immediately it was assumed that the Mafia had pressured LaMotta to throw the fight. In the absence of hard proof, LaMotta kept his license, and in 1949, the mob delivered what it had promised, a title shot against the gifted Frenchman Marcel Cerdan.
I knew that once I went in that ring, I couldn't lose, because I was so obsessed in my mind. So I stopped him in the 10th round.
Rigged, dive type of fight, whatever you want to call it.
You're right. And that is a conspiracy. I know it was also revealed that there was corruption behind it. And you know what, bro? Unfortunately, that was the era, brother.
Yeah.
And here's another thing, bro. I think, in my opinion, this could be controversial. Thankfully, LaMotta has passed away, so I don't have to worry about him knocking on my door. But LaMotta, in my opinion, when I would see those old fights, bro, it looked like he would take punches in bunches just because he's trying to get to a certain point in a fight to where he can get the fix in. Like, he would carry boxers further than, because you would see, why is this guy hanging around LaMotta this late into the fight? This fight should be over. But LaMotta is kind of just hugging and holding and stuff like that. And I'm not surprised that it was finally revealed that, yes, he was corrupt, that there was some corruption behind that. And look, 20 grand back in the day, that's crazy money, or feria, like you and I like to people of our culture say. And I agree with you, bro. That's a solid number 2, bro, because
number 2,
that was the era at that time. So
yeah,
I'm cool with that.
So
okay,
are you up to your number 1 now?
Yes, I'm up to my number 1. And
Okay.
this is as controversial as it gets, bro. And the
All
reason
right.
why I have this one my number one is because it has changed the public opinion of literally the face of boxing today. And if that doesn't give it away, well, I might as well just say it now. And it is the 2018 when Canelo got busted for clenbuterol steroids. All right. So look,
All right.
2018, it was in between the match between Triple G. It was after his first match with Triple G. Everybody was demanding the rematch because they said that it was a robbery. By the way, we already scored that fight, so I'll put the link on there so if you want to watch that episode. But after doing the when Vada comes to Mexico to do his urine sample testing, he fails the test twice, and now people and they were saying that he has slight detection of clenbuterol, and ever since then, his legacy has been tainted. But it was later, a month later, he takes the hair follicle test. This is where the conspiracy comes in. He takes the hair follicle test, which is more of a, if you're going to go by a standard, the hair follicle test can prove up from 3 to 6, sometimes even almost a year test to where it can prove if you've been using steroids long term. Okay. And when he took on that hair follicle test, it proved that it was that he had no substantial increase or substantial proof that he was on the I'm sorry, that it proved that he wasn't on clenbuterol longer than what people were speculating. That it was, in fact, more than likely a beef tasting, or he was eating beef from Mexico City. Now, most people will be like, "I'm crazy. That's a crazy conspiracy. How can you get steroid clenbuterol into your bloodstream, into your urine, and everything like that?" Well, it's actually happened before in Mexico. Those that don't know me, I'm a huge football, soccer fan, however you want to say it, and I follow Mexican soccer. Okay, we live right here on the border; it's very popular. And in 2012, a few years earlier, the entire team, I think it was 28 of the players of the Mexican national team, all got busted with the same thing, a soccer team, and they all got suspended from at the time. I think it was the Gold Cup. I remember that. I remember I was at the gym, and the gym has TVs, and they had the little ticker on the bottom saying that the Mexican national team got busted for clenbuterol, more than likely coming from a restaurant, because it was slight hints of clenbuterol in the urine. Okay. And then it also happened again to the under 17. There's like they have like a high school team, national team. Happened to them as well, and they got suspended as well. So I'm not surprised. It is a real thing that in Mexico they do give their cows, and they give them a bunch of substance that can alter your urine stream. And I think Canelo got caught in for that. To me, it's not a conspiracy theory, even though it is a big conspiracy theory, that it was just bad beef, bro. I think, and ever since then, after that, he literally stopped eating red meat. He hasn't eaten red meat ever since, and he's never gotten busted ever since. So that's why I think that it was just a hoax. But we live in this day and age. You go to any comment section, it could be about Canelo's next fight, and half of the comments will just say steroids this, clenbuterol that. So, any thoughts on that conspiracy theory topic?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. There was a guy that did comment also saying, "Hey, I had never heard of a steroid that give you boxing skills."
Right.
And the drive that Canelo has, bro, training all the time, and and he's still boxing, he's
Hmm.
still fighting,
Right.
and it's gonna, you're gonna have the haters mostly that are gonna always accuse him of that
Hmm.
because of his greatness today,
Hmm.
and I do believe that. And it was they inject the cows with the beef, whatever, with steroids, to make them bigger, and
And leaner, yeah.
yeah, and that's why I feel that they're never gonna let it go. But the hair follicle proven otherwise, and he has skills, bro, that no steroid can give him.
Hmm.
The drive, determination, to be, the champion he is today. I mean, dude, they're not going to give, a $360 million deal to a cheater, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's all hate. That's all it is.
Let me throw it, because the urine test even had slight detection. If he is a pungent steroid user, it would not be a slight detection. Obviously, there was some kind of mishandling going on. I even think he even fired his chef, if I'm not mistaken, after that happened. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. But I know there was a lot of internal handling going on after, because he was so disappointed. He got suspended. But here's another thing, bro. I actually think that steroid, because he took, I think it was a 6-month suspension. I even think, bro, it was a blessing, because after that, we got the best version of Canelo. After that, he pretty much went on a 6-year, 3 or 5 year tear of just running through everybody, fighting more, trying to make up for that lost time. And then COVID coming in and delaying everything. He's like, you know what? I'm going to be the one fighting all the time. I'm the face of boxing. I need to be out there. I think him being accused, or I guess his reputation staying by this slight detection, woke a monster up. And that's where he took that next level. Because let's face it, bro, that Triple G Canelo won, Triple G could have been the face of boxing afterwards. And the fact that Canelo gets the bad side of that decision, and then gets the news that he had clenbuterol in his system, and then still becomes the face of boxing after that, that goes to show, for me at least, that he put in the work when nobody else wanted to step up. All right, you're going to stain my reputation. Let me get it back and get back in the ring and take down all the guys that everybody else does not want to fight, even going up to 175. Your last thoughts on that? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. The guy has been dominated. He's been dominating, and that is already past him, bro. That is already past him. He's proven time and time again that his skills that have nothing to do with steroids, his skills and the way he manages his boxing career, bro, has already overshadowed that, bro. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion.
Let me ask you a question. One thing that kind of annoys me about boxing fans, and you and I are no exception, is people hate on boxers because of their style, what they do outside of their home,
their color,
or their skin color, or even to the point like how they act in the gym, whether it's showboating and stuff like that. I honestly think, for me, and I'll throw the question at you, I honestly think the sole reason why Canelo is hated is because of the steroid thing. I think that's that, because when he wins in fights, he's always gracious. When he's always there to congratulate the fighter, even after a heated 2 or 3 months of cussing each other out, he always is congratulatory. Even when he knocked out Kirkland and Amir Khan and Caleb Plant, he's the first one there to make sure they're okay. He shows grace, grace. Oh my God, he shows how grateful he is just for being in that ring with them. Like, he appreciates them even after knockout. He doesn't show off his wealth to the point like other boxers have. He doesn't showboat in the ring as much. I know he did against Billy Joe Saunders, but Saunders was doing that in the ring as well. I honestly think that that's the main reason. Maybe the whole cherry picking thing, which is something we need to talk about later on. What is your thoughts on that? Talk to me. Why does he have that many haters?
All right. Well, this is me being Kanye West. He's hated because he's a redheaded Mexican.
Okay.
I think they just hate that there's a redheaded, Mexican being the face of boxing. And I mean, Floyd got it too. Yeah. Floyd was hated because he was a black boxer that was successful and couldn't be beaten. And it has a lot to do with race, I think, in my opinion. Basically, there is no reason, exactly everything you just said about Canelo being gracious and talking positive about his opponents and everybody. Why would you hate him?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You hate him because he's popular. He's a redheaded Mexican. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the only hate. Because when I read all the comments on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere, YouTube, it's people from other races that really, really hate Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
And he's even getting hate from his own people. Look at Marquez.
Yeah.
I think it's a success. And that's what
Right.
happens. More
I
money,
think
more problems.
I agree with you 100%. You had the courage, I guess, the courage to say it. I think with the Marquez things, I think it's more Canelo is
Jealousy?
that, and I think Canelo is taking down the old kings of boxing, and it's a new phase. I guarantee you 10, 15 years after Canelo retires, let's say he finishes out with a phenomenal record, um his legacy will be greater than what it is now. It's always like that. So we tend to not appreciate
Yeah.
greatness when it's happening 10, 20 years after they retire. Oh, now they're the greatest of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So great conversation. What is your number one, my man? Talk to me.
Well, my number one is not as big and hot as yours is,
Talk
but
to
my
me.
number one is gonna have to be the Duran Leonard 2.
Ooh, talk to me,
Yeah,
bro.
I think that Duran, after Roberto Duran gave Leonard that whooping in the first fight, it was huge. It was huge, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was huge. I mean, Duran, this Panamanian kid, beating the gold medalist in Sugar Ray Leonard, bro, defeating him. He beat him.
Blemish's record.
Yeah, blemishes record. He was devastated. I saw Leonard's face. He was messed up. Bro, they knew they had somebody watching Duran. They saw Duran partying. They knew that Duran was super poor. They got reports what he was doing in Panama, bro, and they forced a rematch on him when he was not ready, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He was not ready. Some people say this. Some people say that he took money. That he
Mm-hmm.
took money to fight, even though he wasn't ready, and take the loss. And then he says that he had eaten this steak that gave him stomach problems, but that
Mm.
he was not ready. And that was the point. For me, that was a huge conspiracy, especially when he turned around and started the whole no mas.
Well, actually, that's part of the conspiracy. Supposedly, he never said no mas. That he just pushed his glove down. He's like, just turned his back to Leonard, and his trainer thankfully jumped in before Leonard can, hit him from behind. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. If I'm not mistaken, Duran weighed what, 200 pounds? Had to
Yeah.
lose 60 pounds in 2 months. I mean, you're talking about literally a pound a day when he was pretty much, I don't want to say, no fat. Of course, he had fat, but to lose 60 pounds when you're that small of a frame of a man in that much time is not healthy, brother. And I think when he got into that ring, I think everything crashed down, the bright lights, everything, the deals that he was making, all that pressure. And I think he just did not want anything to do with Leonard, and Leonard just called it. So I agree with you. I think that's a fantastic
Yeah.
number one. Any ones you left off, man?
Yeah, I was gonna use the whole all the boxing sanctions, bro. All the bodies, and Vegas. I mean,
Mhm.
for robbing fighters,
Right.
robbing Castillo versus Floyd, robbing fighters that should have won, ruining their
Mhm.
careers over
Mhm.
money, bro.
Mhm.
I can go on and go on. I don't want to just pick on Floyd, but dude, I mean, money getting involved. The promoters. I mean, there's so many things that happen, bro. Robberies that we just forget about, and it
There's
ruined people's careers.
I agree, bro. I agree. There's been a lot of fights. I think you and I've talked about it, when Pernell Whitaker had that draw against Whitaker. I mean, I'm sorry, against Chavez.
Yeah,
And it was like, really? Don King had his dirty hands on that somehow.
And that ruined Pernell Whitaker, bro.
I think so too.
That ruined Pernell Whitaker.
Absolutely. For me, bro, I had, one of the conspiracy theories is, did Manny purposely wait out Pacquiao for 7 years? That was one.
Who do you mean, Floyd?
I'm sorry. Floyd, I don't know what's wrong with me. Floyd waited out Pacquiao for 7 years.
Yes.
Whether you believe in that or not, what do you think?
I believe in it, and we went back and forth today with a guy on YouTube, and I go, so it's okay. They're mad that Canelo's not fighting Benavidez.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we're worried. Were you chanting the same? Were you, was the outcry there? When your guy Floyd was avoiding Manny for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when we talk about the greatest, and I have to throw this in there because I have to, that Margarito fight, for me, Floyd avoided Margarito.
Mm-hmm.
That Manny destroying Margarito made me favor Manny Pacquiao. When we talk about best fighters in boxing, but I want to end on this.
I want to end on this conspiracy theory. I want you to tell me what you think. We're going high on time, but what about the Tyson? Two things. Tyson Fury's loaded gloves against Wilder, and also Wilder saying that his costume going into that fight wore him out. The super long entrance while he was wearing the Black Panther gear. What do you think about those conspiracies, the loaded glove and the costume?
It was excuses for his performance. You know what I mean? It showed time and time. That's why the last fight was called Once and For All.
Right.
They came in, gloves checked. Fury knocked him out, just the way he called it. How about the Bruce Seldon versus Mike Tyson? Oh my God. I was laughing at that one.
Right.
That was ridiculous. But anyways, those are good picks.
All phenomenal, guys. Tell us what you think. Is it are we crazy? Did we leave anything out? We had a lot of heavy opinions. This was a fantastic episode. Do you have any thoughts for our audience out there?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody that's been watching our videos. Continue sharing our channel. If you're new, subscribe. And I appreciate every one of y'all. We'll try to get to all of y'all's comments. And, thank you guys for, watching.
Exactly, guys. Keep the love coming. Keep the comments coming. Sam and I will get back to you as much as possible. I'm under the Stick and Move podcast. Sam is under Stick and Move Sam 75. I'm off today, bro. I'm just off.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it at that. Well, I'm always off. But anyhow, just don't forget to stick and move, baby.
I am the greatest. I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
Just stick and move. And when you understand that, stick and move.